Okay, hi, this is Susan from the Graceful Lily Market, and I've decided to upscale this silver plate tray. It's from the International Silver Plate Company, and the only reason I'm thinking of upscaling this is because of this stain, and it's pretty tarnished. I mean, I took out the label that it had there, and you can see the color that it used to be. I've cleaned it, washed it. It's almost like a gold tone at this point. And then there's a really big stain here. And it looks like somebody might have sanded it because it had some beautiful pattern here. And it looks like most of it is gone. I can see it here like on the outer parts. But we'll see how it looks. I'm going to chalk paint it white, and the only reason why I want to do that is because I've seen these like in decor steels or antique farmhouse. They have these painted like a chalky white, and they're used for vanity trays, or I can put it on, on the middle of the table for decor. But yeah, so I decided to do that, to upscale it. Now I had some, like half a gallon of that chalk paint, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna use this one that I bought at Walmart a long time ago. So I'm hoping it's still good. I mean, it's still liquidy. And then for the finish, I'm going to use this clear finish. So, I mean, I have some of that wax finish, but I wasn't sure if I'm gonna like that. But I am going to distress it to give it an old look with this. I don't know what grade it is, but it's pretty light. And then these are brushes for chalk painting that I bought a while ago, and I have not used them. So, I don't know which one is which. It says great for small areas. Okay, one is a chalk brush. Okay, I got it. The one with the flat handle, and the round brush is for the waxing. So that's cool. I have something to wax it with. So I had this to put the paint in, but I went to go look to see if we have paper plates, and we did, and I guess everybody in the house was using the paper plates, so I can't use this. So everything's running out in this house. I'm gonna make sure it's mixed very well. And I'm doing the bottom first. That way, I always do the bottom first. That way, once it's dry and I turn it the other way, and if for some reason it sticks to this plastic, I can just touch it up and I don't have to worry about messing up the top, if that makes sense. But I always do that. But let's see how it goes. I want it like a creamy white, but this is what I have. Try not to get my hands dirty, but I guess that's not gonna be a thing. It's really white. Now I wanted to use a roller or a sponge brush, but didn't have any in the garage. Okay, so far, this is what it looks like. I gave it a second coat as soon as I did the first coat, but again, it's not covering very well. I never like using brushes, and this brush, which is from Waverly, is not cooperating with me because it falls apart. Like all the bristles kept coming off. I don't know if it's because it's old or it's just not a good brand. Like they do make fabric, so I don't know if buying a paintbrush was a good idea, or a chocolate brush. But when I go to Home Depot, I am going to get a sponge brush or a little roller one, because it just works better. It leaves it smooth without brush lines and a full coverage. So we'll let this dry and just see if we can give it a nice sponge brush stroke, you know, and see if it comes out better. Okay, so while this is drying, there's another project I'm gonna do, and it's the Moon Man project. I don't know if you guys have seen the Moon Man that everybody's going crazy for. So it's a circle. It's about 17 or 18 inches. I can't remember what my husband made me a circle. The only thing is that he had to put a pin through this, so I don't know how that's going to affect the picture. I don't know if I should do it on this side, but then there's like a lump, or do it on this side where there's going to be a little hole. So let me try this side. And I found this. I thought I had a smaller container to put the chalk, but I'm just gonna have to use this. And so the dollar store brushes were a bust, so I'm gonna try these. This is from the dollar store. They look exactly the same, except these fell apart really quick. So let me see if there's a difference. So I'm gonna use this wider brush to brush. Now I'm gonna end up distressing this. Okay, so I'm just trying to do the edging here, just because when it lays flat on the wall, I don't want the wood color to show through. Because it's just a little bit, but it'll bother me. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be distressed. Okay, so I'm just going to let it dry now. Okay, so back to this. It dries pretty quickly. Now see how it's really tarnished, so upscaling it was a good idea. So I'm going to continue, and now this is the ultimate test for this Home Depot brush, because now I'm gonna be painting corners and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the Moon Man I'm gonna make. And so now I gotta cut this freezer paper into this size of paper. So I don't know how that's gonna be. I'm gonna use scissors. I do have one of those things that cuts paper straight, but these papers are so big it won't fit. It would have to be cut in order for me to use it. So, okay, so I brought back up, just in case, this cutting board with my X-Acto knife. this is the little cutter that's supposed to cut straight. Sometimes it does, I mean it cuts straight, but sometimes it cuts at an angle if I don't do it right. So double checking. It's gonna need 6 papers, at least for my printer, to print the face on here. So now we're gonna try to print it.
Almost the brown.
Okay, so this is the paper all glued together, but let me tell you, it was a pain in the buttocks. Now to try to center it, because I can't see it from the bottom, because you have to do it. Oh Lord. Okay, I can see the face. Just gotta try to center it. Come and see if, what do you think where it is? Oh wait. Okay, I see it. I see the line. Just hard to see the line where the circle is, because, okay. It's a very faint line when I printed it out. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like right there. I'm adjusting it before I actually. Okay. It seems to be in the right space. That was hard to. It's not gonna be perfect. What's the credit card? Okay. Supposedly you have to get a credit card and do this. Now I had to let it dry a little bit because it just sticks to you the printout. So it's not gonna be perfect when it comes out. You have to fill it in. Now I'm just worried that the nose is not gonna come out good because it was hard to glue that together. So it was difficult to try not to touch the black areas and get it. Let me sit down. And get it stuck on there. Actually, I can't see what I'm doing. Now, this is my second attempt because the first attempt, I didn't realize that you gotta separate the paper as it's printing, so you know you have to separate the paper as it's printing because it will transfer right away onto the paper. So as it's printing, you have to remove separate, is what I'm trying to say, separate the papers. Because the first time, like I said, I did it, it was a fail. It transferred right away onto the paper as it was printing out. So you gotta, as it's printing, you gotta remove it and separate them, and then let them dry just a little bit, maybe 5-10 minutes, so it won't be so wet. And then I tried not to, I added the tape, trying not to put this this way, so that's why it looks like a mess. Because I tried to put the tape first on the ends, I matched it up, I put it on the ends first, so I'd have to touch the middle. And then I just tried to put tape without touching the darker parts. This is what worries me, that the nose might not come out right because I was trying not to touch it. I mean, I think we're ready to see how it's gonna look. Okay, either this is gonna be good or an epic fail, but remember, it's not gonna come out perfect. Oh God. Oh, he's cute! Look, he came out good. So that's mine. He's not perfect. You see here the creases because it was so hard. You actually see the paper. But what some people do is give it a light sanding. That way you don't see all of this. So that's my moon man. Ooh, he's cute. Okay, so now I can do the second coat to this one. Looking good. So the next thing would be to give it a distressed look. Just letting it dry now. Okay, so I have the tray now nice and chalky. So I actually don't know what grit this is, but it's not too rough. So it's probably the lowest one. So it's taking it lightly. Let me see if this one, oh. I mean, it's a very light distressing. I could probably use a higher grit if I really want to get in there. But it is working. Because I want to try to get some distressing on this side, and it's not happening. So I think it looks pretty good. A little distressing here. Some in here, I don't know if you can see. Some distressing. See how they're distressing a little bit? I don't like too much distressing. I like a light distressing, so this is pretty good. There were some areas I wanted to get into, but if I keep going, it'll come off, and it's good because it's controlled. Now this side I'm just gonna leave as is. I don't know. What do you think? Should I distress it? It's not gonna be seen, so I'll just leave it alone and just keep this. But it came out nice. See how I distressed? It's easier to distress the top, the areas that are detailed. And now to give it a finish, I got a clear wax, and I need something to open it with. Okay. So I got my husband to open it up for me. So this is pretty simple. It's a clear wax finish. Why is there hair everywhere? Nice clear finish. And of course, I'm going to try to get in there in the corners, in the creases, as much as I can. So all done. You can see that beautifulness. I can't wait to decorate it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna work on my Moon Man, because I decided to give it a Sharpie to make it darker because it's too light. I mean, my husband says keep it that way, but I want to make it darker and then distress it so that it gets a lighter, but this is way too light, I think, because he put it up on the wall and his face was too light compared to this. So he needs to be just a tad bit darker. So what a lot of people do is use a Sharpie. So I hope I don't ruin it. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Much better. What I'm gonna do is just stress it now, but I'm gonna wait and let it dry for a little bit. That way it doesn't smear. Okay, so I got something with some grit. So let's see how it looks. Oops. Hopefully that's just I'm not ruining it, it's just dust. Ooh, scaring me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. The Sharpie kind of smeared. I don't know how people do this without the Sharpie smearing. But it was giving me that look that I wanted. So I'm gonna have to like fix it. But it's giving me that look. Clean it. You're gonna have to clean it in between or paint it around it. Oh, it's not too bad, but I'm gonna have to clean it or paint it around. But see that look right there? That's what I want. Oh. So I'm gonna go inside and clean it, see if it comes off by wiping it with soapy water. Okay, so we're almost done. I just try to get rid of the Sharpie marks because it's way too, it bothers me. So working with this. Nothing can come out smoothly. Incredible. This has been a lot of hard work because I was trying to do it the way, like without a Cricut. It would have been so much easier with a Cricut, but I don't have one. So now I'm just trying to take these Sharpie smear marks. Oh, it's supposed to be going the way of, I didn't think there was going to be a problem. Let's see. It looks a little better. Looks a little better. From far away it'll look better. So next time it's the Sharpie. I use Sharpie because a lot of people said that they use the Sharpie to fill in the gaps. See, now I'm starting to see the wood. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with him now. So later on, we're gonna give it a clear coat, a matte clear coat, and then we're going to hang him in my front entry where my walls are pretty tall. So we'll see how that looks. Don't you just love him? And it's funny because he kind of looks like my dad. His name is George. So I'm naming him George. Really, he's Spanish, so his name is Jorge. That's gonna be the Moon Man's name, Jorge.